Yes, this is Peggy Childers. I've put up a lot of videos and I'm on Facebook. Part of just what I'm going to mention on here today, I was kidnapped, and I give my real name, and I have to use Peggy and Dempsey. But what I wanted to put on here is I have an immune disorder, and I'm allergic to toxic fumes. And I've been in politics. I was in a political campaign to replace Larry McDonald, a congressman doctor. I was flown out to Larry Flint's, and he supported me in that campaign and endorsed me. Now, then, he also said I knew who was responsible for his shooting. I was living in Marietta, and he was shot in Lawrenceville, Georgia, March the 6th of 78. So I'm going to leave it there because what I want to say is this is boiled down to I have been exposed deliberately to toxic fumes over the years since I came here. And probably before, I didn't know that I had an immune disorder and that inhaling toxic fumes triggers my immune system to attack itself. And that's inflammation, goes to the bones, to your back, all organs of your body, and your heart, your lungs, etc., kidneys. So what I want to say here is that everywhere I've gone, it's who I am, okay? That it doesn't matter what documents or what, they know my real name. Everybody around here and in Huntsville, Alabama, etc., in Atlanta. So it's not just the book I did write, but it's unpublished. It's my illness has been used to really kill me over a period of time because I've been deliberately kept a pauper and deliberately at a high level so people can just pass it off and say, oh, that's crazy. But I've taken photos of the mess when I could for a time, and then my phone got taken out. But some of that's still up on videos, so it can be accessed. What I wanted to get to is I've been on Nambutone. It's Relafin, a generic for Relafin, for a long, long period of time. Now, I want to address my doctor here, and I'm not going to use her name because I made the mistake of, since she'd been my doctor for quite a while, of putting her, I went on an HMO. I wouldn't go on that again for anything. But I did, and she's my primary care, so she has to refer me to other doctors. Now, today, suddenly over all these years, about 2 months ago, this is for inflammation. And she cut it down. Reason it could affect my kidneys. After all these years, what is affecting my kidneys and what should be stopped is what's causing the inflammation. And that is the toxic fumes, and she knows this whole thing. So I'm left now with, because I've told the truth about doctors and who I am, I could be hauled off and called having a mental problem, or they could just out and out kill me. They want none of this told. You don't cut somebody's medicine down like she did suddenly. She's got it down to, I believe, a half a day. And then when I called, because she suddenly cut it down, you don't do this in doctor's offices, not if you're up straight and right. They said, well, how about would you switch it to where you take it every other day, etc. You don't do that. This is for inflammation. It's nuts to do that. Now then, when I called to remove her, and well, really, not just to remove her, but to get away from the HMO where I could choose my own doctor. Right now, I'm stuck. And I want to say this has been ongoing. The last place I stayed and rented, they suddenly started paving right in front of me. And just prior to that, they'd put in cement with glue up right in front of me. And prior to that, they had remodeled. All these are the things, ingredients that make me so sick and kill me if I'm forced to inhale them over a period of time. Now, and where I'm at now, I left because of the paving at the other place, and I was so sick I had to be propped up. I spent money And it leaves me bouncing around even when I have evidence of what's going on. I trusted my doctor, but this is not right what's happened the last couple of months with her. So anyway, the HMO that when I called my insurance, they called her on the phone because they wanted me to go and have a complete checkup. They called her. I happened to know that she could have seen me this week, Wednesday or Friday, or Monday at the latest. Instead, she told this insurance company it would be the 18th the next month. Well, I'm going to just stop with here because this has been ongoing and everybody knows it. I can't get an attorney because of what's involved, the names involved in all this. And it's done at such a high level. People can dismiss it and go on their way. Right now where I moved to after the paving out there, and I called her, and it's where I'm at now, American Efficiency Ends. And people just want me shut up, to go away even if it's killing me, however, with handcuffing me or whatever and hauling me off. And, they can do it, believe me. So I moved here, and before I came here, because I'd already been out so much leaving that place where they were paving and all that happened before and before. This is not just one time. It gets into a pattern where it's easy to prove. I don't just suddenly show up, and Edinburgh Village is a retirement here in Roanoke. Suddenly gets landscaping, cutting down trees, and paving, which I was told by a marshal, and I never had his last name, it's Robert, that my money went in. They actually charged me for that. They charged me where I go. I pay to be able to live, and I'm not. I'm bounced around. I have to leave when it gets so bad. So, where I'm at now, I informed her on the phone because I had lived here 5 years ago and once some years before then. So this lady's well acquainted with my immune disorder, that chemicals trigger my immune system to attack itself, and it gets so low it can't fight off something else, But anyway, and it's the inflammation to the organs. Now then, that's why I need the medicine, and that's all I've taken. I can't remember. It's been so very long that I've taken anything but that Relevant, or generic. It's generic for Relevant, and high blood pressure, and my vitamins. Now then, she's cut that down right when I'm just cut it off almost. When I really am in dire need now, the inflammation's so bad. It scares me I'll lose my kidneys or any part of my organ or my lungs. That's the reason I've put all this up, and it does me no good, like a history of what's happening to me. But where I am, I made sure she knew that they had been paving. It was why I left. And I came over here when I got some income. And she assured me that they had not been paving or remodeling, etc. So I came over here with the money to pay the rent and a deposit. And the cab sitting here that brings me, well, they cost money. So I was in nowhere to go but here. And I paid the rent, and she assured me they weren't going to be remodeling or anything else. And she told me that the paving had been done way back. Well, that's not true. I was told by another tenant that it was done a month before I came here, so I could still have a lot of the effects from that. But that's not it totally. They had remodeled. I found out they had put fresh cabinets in the room I'm in, the apartment. And it has glue or whatever that holds it, but I get near it, and the veins in my legs sting and hurt, and I get sick. So it's really sabotaging me and rigging it. It's done at such a high level. It's torturing me. And it can be made to look like something else, and you know what I mean. So the day after I paid the rent, and I paid all I had. So usually I keep some funds, a little, try to keep something, because I'm attuned to what is being done to me, and I have to run. I've even gone to the National Forest trying to set up a tent to have fresh air and breathe. Okay, this time I didn't. I paid her the whole amount I had on me. Now I have nothing to leave on. But the day after I paid her the rent, and she assured me that, oh, everything was okay, nothing, they weren't going. Well, that's not true. I went out the front door, and they've got hoses up and down in front of here, the apartment, and they're it's not Stanley steamer. They're using chemicals to clean the carpets. Okay, if that's not bad enough, and they go all around the front from me, and then they go upstairs and do it right on top. Okay, then they're painting the doors to all these apartments. Okay, now then, they finish that, and I am deathly ill. And my doctor's pulling this, and even my pharmacy can't understand it, because they've faxed, and she's even said they didn't fax, her office would, when I call. Well, they did. I've used them forever. And the other thing is that now they're outside. And this is October the 17th. It's getting cold. And they're putting some kind of, where I open the window, I'm right under it, the steps going up to the second floor. It's a balcony. I don't know what they're putting on the steps. They're putting some kind of covering, she said. That's all I know. But they come in with, I think the truck, well, I know it was a while ago, their vehicle. So they've got stuff on it that looks deadly to me. I don't know if they're putting down outdoor carpet on the steps and upstairs or what, but it's right in front of me. And you talk about a nightmare that's been carried out with everybody watching it and knowing that it's going on. It's unbelievable.